Another alert day is in the forecast for southern Wisconsin for accumulating snow as we head into Saturday night, going on into Sunday morning, but a north track may increase amounts. I have all the latest.
And reading levels drop across Wisconsin. Why education officials are confident, though, they will rebound soon.
And breaking ground on the future, what work is underway to create Gigi's Playhouse's new home. It's all ahead on News 3 Now at 10. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Eric Franke.
And I'm Sarah Carlson. We begin tonight with a look at that forecast. Alert day conditions are on the way for southern Wisconsin.
Alex, so when will the snow arrive and how much are we talking about here?
That snow will arrive by the time we get into the mid-evening hours of Saturday, 8, 9 o'clock, lasting till about 6 o'clock Sunday morning. This accumulating snow of about 1 to 4 inches will focus on southern Wisconsin, especially areas south and west of Madison, as it looks like at this point in time. But I've been keeping a close eye on the track of this weather system. Right now, eyeing up southwest Wisconsin, where we have a winter weather advisory in effect for Saturday evening till 6 o'clock on Sunday. But I would not be shocked in the slightest, looking at some of the latest weather models, if this winter weather advisory is expanded across portions of southern Wisconsin as well. So we've got 1 to 3 inches. We'll go back a graphic. There we go. Widespread 1 to 3 inches expected across all of southern Wisconsin, with 3 to 6 inches more likely in Iowa, although a northward shift in the track of this weather system could bring those 3 to 6 inch amounts further into southern Wisconsin. I'll explain more a little bit later in Maine weather. Now, if you've been out and about driving tonight, you know we've had a little bit of that dusting of snow and a little bit of freezing drizzle, making for some slick conditions in some of those area roadways. So take it easy tonight if you're doing any additional travel. But Future Track is taking all the rest of that light snow and a little bit of freezing drizzle that we had out of the area, at least for tonight. It's all part of the 3 things you need to know. The light snow tonight is ending with just some flurries. More on alert day conditions when I come back in a little bit. We'll use Future Track to show you when that snow enters your neighborhood and when it ends. And we've got more snow in the forecast. Another system by Tuesday. More on that in just a bit.
Thank you, Alex. And you can track the forecast for yourself on our Firstborn Weather app. It has hourly planners, road conditions, and radar. Download this for free in your phone's app store. Just search WISC Weather.
Madison police are searching for a suspect accused of sexually assaulting a woman at gunpoint on the north side last night. Police say it happened on Spencer Lane. A man pulled up in a dark-colored SUV, threatened the woman with a gun, and sexually assaulted her inside the vehicle. Anyone with information about the assault is asked to contact Madison area Crime Stoppers. And if you need to talk to someone about sexual violence, there are resources available. The National Sexual Assault Hotline on your screen right there. And so is the helpline for Dane County Sexual Violence Resource Center, that's formerly the Rape Crisis Center. The 2 Madison brothers accused of multiple homicides dating back to 2016 and 2017 are now heading to trial. Justin and Jordan Charlo are charged with first-degree intentional homicide as party to a crime for a July 2017 shooting that killed a 29-year-old man on the city's west side. Jordan Charlo also charged with 2 more counts of that crime for deadly shootings in May of 2016, March of 2017 as well. Police arrested the brothers last month.
The Madison Police Department is providing some tips to keep your packages safe from porch pirates over this holiday season. A security.org study found that thieves stole more than $18 million worth of packages over the past year. Madison police recommend having your packages delivered to secure locations like an Amazon locker or the UPS store, or require proof of identification.
If you have a higher value item, seeing if you can require the package carrier to get a signature in order to turn the thing over to you. That's another way, just so you are the one specifically receiving your package versus it being left on your porch.
The Better Business Bureau says porch pirates often target houses that provide a quick in and out route, especially if the packages are delivered within 25 feet of the street and are easily visible.
Parents of young students will want to hear this next story.
36% of elementary school-aged kids in Wisconsin need help reading. The Department of Public Instruction says they hope to improve reading levels through Act 20. Our Tanisha Shaw explains.
Every kid has to be able to read.
Dr. Barb Novak is the Director of Literacy for the Department of Public Instruction here in Wisconsin. She analyzed the literacy rates for students in 4K to 3rd grade. It shows that more than a third of students are behind on their reading skills. That is more than 97,000 students in Wisconsin. And 1st grade students are the most behind, 46% of them reading below the 25th percentile.
The percentile compares students to their peers. And the norming sample that was used for the 24-25 school year was from 5 to 7 years before the pandemic.
Most of these students are around the ages of 5 to 9 years old. The majority of them were born or very young during the COVID-19 pandemic.
How their peers were performing 7 to 9 years before, which we know from other research and studies is definitely different than 4 and 5 and 6-year-olds are performing now.
The DPI says that the reading scores will improve with Act 20. It teaches students to break down every single word when reading rather than using context clues, and it passed back in 2023.
What I hope to see 3 to 5 years from now is improvement for every single kid. As well as some really serious work around building systems that support families and systems that support educators and some systems that quickly find the kids who might be struggling and are able to move them forward in the most meaningful ways.
Dr. Novak also told me that if your child is struggling with reading, you should find out what they're passionate about and base your teaching around that. Reporting in the newsroom, Tanasia Shaw, News 3 Now.
Thank you, Tanisha. And we've covered Act 20 for years now. If you'd like to learn more about the curriculum change, you can visit our website, channel3000.com. And we told you last night that the University of Wisconsin-Madison is creating a new college for the first time in 40 years. It's forming the College of Computing and Artificial Intelligence. University officials say now is the logical time to make this change as AI becomes increasingly more predominant in education. They want to encourage students to be engaged with these technological advancements.
They need to learn about AI and about its implications, because when they go out into the world, on their jobs, but also just in their lives generally, AI is going to be pervasive and enduring in really every walk of life and every profession.
$36 million in general operations of funding will be moved from the College of Letters and Sciences to this new college. The total budget for this is $85 million, with operations expected to begin July 1st of 2026.
The DNR is encouraging all people enjoying the outdoors to be extra careful of the state's bodies of water. The department issuing a warning that no ice is safe ice. It does not monitor ice conditions, but they are monitored on a local level. Officials recommend visiting fishing clubs, outfitters, and bait shops for current ice conditions. And with temperatures dropping below freezing, you'd be surprised with how many animals at the Violet Zoo actually enjoy this cold weather. Guests, of course, expect to see animals like polar bears and the seals outside in the cold, but walking around, you'll still see camels, bison, even the tiger enjoying the outdoors.
We have a lot of animals who are built for Wisconsin weather, and so they kind of thrive here no matter what our conditions are.
And the animals are able to roam inside and outside, giving them opportunities to enjoy the cold and escape from it as well, while zookeepers work with nutritionists and veterinarians leading up to and throughout the winter months to ensure the animals are meeting their goal weights and are staying healthy.
As the season of giving gets underway, the Salvation Army reports a sharp rise in families who are asking for help this year. The nonprofit's national commander says calls for assistance are up 25%. However, he's hopeful for the holidays with those signature red kettles and bells out. Last year, that campaign raised $100 million. And Gigi's Playhouse Madison broke ground on its Future Forever home in Fitchburg. The nonprofit provides free educational, therapeutic, and career development programs for people with Down syndrome, their families, and the community. So far, $2.3 million has been raised out of the $4 million expansion goal.
This campaign is about more than a building. It is about expanding possibilities. It's about creating a hub of acceptance, courage, learning, belonging, and joy.
For every $2 donated as well, $1 is matched for Gigi's Playhouse from a local family foundation gift. If you're interested in donating, a link can be found on our website, channel3000.com.
And still to come, attend FIFA awards President Trump with a Peace Prize.
And a major change is made to the U.S. childhood vaccine schedule, why the hepatitis B vaccine will not be given at birth.
And Alex has more on the alert day conditions coming our way this weekend. That's next.
News 3 Now at 10.
Welcome back. Soccer governing body FIFA awards President Trump a Peace Prize.
His administration is continuing its efforts to broker a deal to end the war in Ukraine. The award comes after talks this week in Moscow between U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff, President Trump's son-in-law Jared Kushner, and Russian President Vladimir Putin ended without a breakthrough.
Did settle 8 wars, and we have a 9th coming, which nobody's ever done before. But I want to really save lives. I don't need prizes. I need to save lives.
The leaders of Mexico and Canada also took part in the World Cup event at the Kennedy Center, with President Trump touting collaboration with both countries, despite recent tensions over trade.
Today, a federal committee voted to change the recommendations for a key childhood vaccine. The CDC's vaccine advisory panel is now recommending a dose of the hepatitis B vaccine only for newborns whose parents test positive, mothers test positive. For decades, the government has advised vaccinating all babies at birth to protect them from liver infection. The vaccination series is now suggested to begin at 2 months.
Parents should carefully think about whether they want to take the risk of giving another vaccine to their child.
This has a great potential to cause harm, and I simply hope that the committee will accept its responsibility when this harm is caused.
Now, Republican Senator Bill Cassidy, a physician who voted to confirm HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., urged the acting CDC director to reject the committee's guidance. The American Academy of Pediatrics agrees, saying the decision is a dangerous move that will harm children.
And now to the forecast. Alert day conditions on the way for the weekend. Snow for parts of southern Wisconsin. Alex, how much?
Yeah, we had snow last weekend, bitter cold, snow on the way, 1 to 4 inches widespread across southern Wisconsin, especially for areas south and west of Madison, as it looks like right now. Although some of our latest weather models coming in, I'll explain, are alluding to some changes. This is Saturday night going on into Sunday morning. We have winter weather advisories already issued by the National Weather Service in La Crosse for southwest Wisconsin. Would not be shocked in the slightest, seeing some of the latest weather models coming in, that winter weather advisory is expanded further to the east. Here's why. That snow breaks out, becomes widespread, not just in southwest Wisconsin, but all the way from Juneau and Adams counties south to the Wisconsin-Illinois border with some of our latest weather model projections. The snow is quick to move out of the area with north winds coming in on Sunday. That's going to usher in another reinforcing bout of Arctic air back into southern Wisconsin. Widespread 1 to 3 inches of snow with a band of 3 to 6 inches of snow south and west of in portions of far southwest Wisconsin. I'm trying to say here, Prairie du Chien over to Platteville. But weather models are indicating that there's the possibility here of what we know, that a north track could increase those amounts, meaning that 3 to 6 inch band to the south and west may sneak up further into southern Wisconsin if latest weather models ring true here, that northward track actually materializes tomorrow. So we're keeping a close eye on the potential for that track, as it's always key for snowfall totals. We have good chances for snow Saturday night going into Sunday, good chances for snow Monday night going into Tuesday, Tuesday night going into Wednesday. There's some indication we could have yet another weather system by the end of next week out towards Friday. So we are staying very, very active in southern Wisconsin. It was active this evening on Radar 3000, but all that snow shower activity that has now since scooted off towards the east into Lake Michigan. And we'll take a peek here at Future Track. Nothing really indicating here any more amounts of light snow or freezing drizzle that we were seeing earlier, maybe just a flurry or two as we head through the rest of the night. So our alert day Saturday night going into Sunday with accumulating snow likely. We've got that Packers game on Sunday as well. Temperatures get colder behind that Clipper system on Monday. Then we have the other weather system as we go into Tuesday, going into Wednesday, with a strong indication that we'll have yet another weather system Friday going on into Saturday with accumulating snow in all of these weather systems, adding to the deep snow that we have out there. That Packers forecast unchanged, just a few clouds to start off at kickoff. By halftime, we're at 13. By the end of the game, we're already in the single digits. So certainly bundle on up. Well, it was a busy day here in the studio. We had students from Anana Kindergarten Elementary School. They stopped by today to see the behind the scenes at Channel 3. They learned about the teleprompter, how our production crew gets us on TV, and a lot about weather, a lot of weather questions. And guess what? They have something they want to say. Thanks for coming on out. You're welcome to come anytime.
Awesome
And they're
stuff.
still jumping.
And they're
They
still
were good
jumping, right?
visitors. We could feel the energy
Yes.
coming out of the studio today as we got in to work. Great to have them here in studio. Alex, thank you.
Thank you. Well, the Packers and Bears are set to face off this weekend at Lambeau. Can't wait for this one. But will comments from Chicago's head coach light a flame under the green and gold?
And how is the coaching staff handling his remarks? News 3 Now senior Packers writer Jason Wilde has the story.
In case you've forgotten, and don't let Packers head coach Matt LaFleur or his assistants fool you, they haven't, even though they downplayed this during the week. When Ben Johnson took the Chicago Bears head coaching job in January, at his introductory press conference, he praised two of the NFC North coaches he'd be facing. His old boss, Dan Campbell, with the Detroit Lions, and Kevin O'Connell, the coach of the Minnesota Vikings. Then he mentioned Matt LaFleur this way.
And to be quite frank with you, I kind of enjoyed beating Matt LaFleur twice a year.
Now, it seemed odd at the time because Matt LaFleur and Ben Johnson don't have a lot of history together. They never coached on the same staff. And when they would face each other in Packers-Lions games, they were both calling plays for the offense. So it wasn't like they were going head-to-head. Now, with the Packers getting ready for Sunday's matchup against Johnson's Bears here at Lambeau Field, I was curious how Matt LaFleur and his two top lieutenants, defensive coordinator Jeff Hafley and offensive coordinator Adam Stenovich, viewed those comments 11 months later. Here's how they answered that.
Did you put any thought into what Ben said about you back in March this week?
Not really, no. I don't think too much into it. Introductory press conferences, at times you're trying to win the press conference, at times things come out maybe one way or the other, but I don't look into that stuff very much, honestly. I'll leave that between those two, and we'll figure it out on Sunday.
Yeah, you take it personal, for sure. I'll just leave it at that. Yeah.
Whether that war of words does anything to the Packers-Bears rivalry on Sunday, we'll have to wait and see. But more importantly, first place in the NFC North is on the line when the 9-3 Bears face the 8-3-1 Packers. We'll have full coverage of that game and everything else leading into it on our website, channel3000.com. And while you're there, make sure you sign up for the Packers newsletter, which delivers that coverage directly to your inbox every single day. In Green Bay at Lambeau Field, Jason Wilde, channel3000.com.
All right, Jason, thank you. The rivalry matchup set to kick off at Green Bay. That's the late game on Sunday afternoon, 3:25 kickoff. Nash is here with sports. Some Badger action going on tonight.
Yeah, next in sports, the Badger volleyball team in round 2 of the NCAA tournament. Find out how they did and some of their other Wisconsin colleagues. All next in sports. One game at a time. That's the approach the Badgers are taking as they head into the NCAA tournament. And with the second round beginning tonight, the motto is still the same. As the Badgers lead in the first set here as Grace Egan spikes one home, asserting some dominance on that home turf. Fast forward now to the end of the first set. Charlie Furbringer with a little surprise attack tip over the net to get the crucial point. The Badgers would coast through this one, winning it 3-0 over UNC to advance to the Sweet 16 for the 13th straight season. The last time Wisconsin women's hockey played Ohio State, they tied the national title game with 17 seconds left, and you know the rest. The Badgers would become the national champions. But they played the Buckeyes for the first time since this evening. Adela Shapovalova on the power play finds the backdoor look and gets one to go after a scoreless first period. And the Badgers would just continue to show why they are the reigning champs. Here comes Caroline Harvey gliding in a goal, and that's all it would take. The Badgers would take down the Buckeyes, winning this one 2-1. Staying out on the ice, the men's side, they took on Notre Dame and the Fighting Irish. The Badgers trailing early as they go down 2-0 in the first period, which is very unlike Bucky this year. But Wisconsin would put up a fight when Quinn Finley on a breakaway backhands one into the net to get the Badgers on the board early in the second. Then taking the lead, Joe Paddle-Atachuk slaps one in from the crease, and the Badgers would fight to the end, winning this one 7-4. Let's get to some hoops. The Bucks trying to win their second straight, taking on the 76ers who made the trip out from Philadelphia. Early on, the new addition, Miles Turner, making his name heard as he would find a bucket from behind the arc, giving the Bucks an early lead in a game where they just couldn't really find it again. Later on, the sophomore Jared McCain would find a three of his own. Milwaukee would not be able to keep the Wisconsin winning alive tonight as they fall to the Sixers, 116-101. On the court locally, there was some history to be made tonight. Josh Manchester of Mount Horeb High School sat at 1,998 points before tonight's matchup against Reedsburg, looking for one more bucket to crack that 2,000-point mark, and he would get it done with those historic points, driving under the basket with the reverse to get the job done. And it was nothing but hugs and celebration for the senior, who becomes just the 69th player in Wisconsin history to achieve that milestone. But there is still a game to be played. The Beavers looking to claw back, hitting a 3 here after going down early. But number 3 was too much to handle tonight for the Beavers, as he was all over making plays out on the court, as Mount Horeb would go on to win 68-35. Don't go anywhere. Stick around. Alex will be back with a final check of the forecast after this.
Oh, finally tonight, California wildlife officials are trying to evict a furry freeloader. This is a 550-pound bear that's been living for more than a week under a resident's home in Altadena. That's just east of Pasadena. This isn't the first time wildlife officials have made contact with this big male black bear. You can actually see a tag on his left ear. He's going to go take out the trash here.
Moseying along like he belongs there. Obviously, he thinks of it as his home. This is my favorite part, though. Look at the size of this young man. And look at how he squeezes it in there.
I think he gets
That's his house under there.
I know, but apparently they set up a scent lure in the yard in hopes that the bear will leave the crawl space on its own. Well, he comes and goes. So
As long as he doesn't hurt anybody, I mean, he's just looking for a place to sleep, right? Look at his eyes.
Yeah, I know. Beautiful
That camera, it's a
bear.
little-
My gosh. And yeah, perfect weather here as well for a bear.
Yeah,
Polar bear.
Yeah, for a
Well, I
polar bear.
guess. Well, I don't know about
bear
that
at the
one.
Viola Zoo, they gave me a call today.
They love
and said
it.
how much they love it. Yeah. And we do have more snow on the way for southern Wisconsin. Get used to this. This is going to be possibly a little broken record here of snow pretty much every other day. Alert day conditions Saturday night going on into Sunday morning for widespread 1 to 4 inches of snow. That Packers game, cold, 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 but then we have more Clipper-like systems. These are those weather systems that come in from the northwest. They give us a couple inches of snow, and behind it's colder. We got another one Tuesday going on into Wednesday, and another one possibly later Thursday night going into Friday, maybe even lasting into Saturday. So each one of these weather systems, if they all track and we get a little light snow out of each one of those for over the course of the next week, we're going to rack up another couple of inches of snow, maybe another 6 inches by the end of the week.
All right, brace yourselves. Thank you, Alex.
Yeah.
And thanks for watching, everyone. The Late Show's up next.
Stephen Colbert. Our next newscast tomorrow morning, starting at 5, and you can always find us streaming 24/7 at Channel 3000.